Very, very good. Very, very happy to get to meet you
Oh, I
finally.
likewise. I'm so excited to meet you in person. It's so fun to know that we have this connection with Gail and, just, 7 degrees of separation, I guess.
Well, with Gail, it's not 7 degrees. No,
No, that's true. Just
it's
one.
no one, but the connection through Gail. Gail is such a beautiful human being, such a beautiful soul that it's like when it's through you, it's like no 1 degree, nothing, you know. Just
Yes, that actually makes so much sense. So where are you located? I don't even know
I
that.
am in Spain, in Barcelona.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Next
that
to
is definitely one of my bucket list places to
Oh.
visit someday. Someday.
Well, when you do, you let me know.
I will, absolutely.
Uh,
My husband and I have been blessed to be able to explore Europe a little bit over the years. And, we've been to London and then through different parts of France and Italy, but we have yet to visit Spain. So
mm,
we'll be there at some
yes,
point, and I
yes,
will definitely let you know.
yes, yes. You will love it. All of Europe is nice. All different, no? But
Oh,
very, very
yeah.
nice. Very
It's
nice.
it's all so unique. Like everywhere
Mm-hmm.
you go, you feel like you're just stepping into a different world, which I mean, for Americans, it definitely feels like a different world.
Yeah, because where are you? Where are you
I'm in
based?
Colorado.
I'm in
I'm in Colorado.
Colorado.
Hmm.
Nice, nice. I've been
Yeah.
there. No, was it? No, no, no. Colorado, I wasn't in Colorado. Been
You
I
were
lived
not.
No, no, I was not. I lived 4 years in New York.
Mm.
And also before that I've been Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Florida I know well because my uncle lived there, so Miami. But yes, and West Coast, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But yeah,
Wow. Yeah, you've been all over the place.
it was just visited. Yes, family, yeah, big family, Cuban family from one side, so they're all around, all around the U.S.
That's great. That's really great. Thank you for inviting me to just chat today. This is really fun, and I was looking forward to it.
Me too, me too. I've seen. I actually normally, well, since I know more people through LinkedIn and how they write, and so I don't. I just look at the LinkedIn profile very quickly because I don't want to get into my mind or nothing. But today I looked into your website.
Oh,
Yes,
awesome.
yes, and I also subscribe to your newsletter. And you have a beautiful website. It feels very, very well, it's clear, clear, light,
Mhm.
and it feels very close to you,
Thank
to
you.
me. So it's a very nice experience to read you
That
and
means so
meet
much to
you.
me. Thank you, because I built it
Yeah, it's beautiful.
and I
It's
am not
beautiful.
a website designer.
No, but it's nice because it's not it's clear in the way that it's straight to the point. And when I read the site, I read you, I feel you because it's not this blah blah blah, and no, but it's beautiful. I loved it, so
Thank you
I
so
recommend it to
much.
anyone to visit.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for going there. And I feel you like I really try not to stalk people when before I meet them because I don't want to know all the answers or
Yeah.
feel like I know the answers. You never do. Like our online
Yeah.
personas are something that we curate, right? Like so you never really know
Mm-mm.
somebody. But even that said, like I try really hard not to go onto Facebook or Instagram or
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn and start looking up all the little pieces to, put the puzzle together before I get to meet the person. So that's, but it still means so much that you went and you read through it. And I really, really appreciate what you said. That's encouraging. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for what you built, because it feels near, and yeah, and I wanted to know, because you also do so many things, because you are in real estate, and at the same time are serving, no, like a true leader that serves through their own experience, no, and serves others, no, nurtures others and get nurtured by it. So that's what I felt also in your writing, you know, and yes, so
thank you.
yeah,
I did spend 20 years in real estate, in commercial property management specifically. And I only left, the day-to-day management a couple of years ago. And it's been an interesting transition. There's been some oh shit moments where you're just holding on, going, what did I do? And then there's been these other really beautiful moments of clarity where it's just like, oh yeah, it's scary, but this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I decided to just transition and into hopefully offering guidance for a number of people, but I've really focused on a lot of people in the real estate community because, I mean, after 2 decades, it's what you know, right? Like, I know what they go through every day. I know what a stressful and thankless job that it is. And I also know that there are a lot of those types of jobs out in the world. I mean, where I grew up and my parents and watching them and my grandparents, it's very common for these jobs that are almost unseen. They're almost a bit invisible, but they're very, very difficult. And so I feel very fortunate to be able to use the lessons that I've learned, not just in property management, but in all the crazy, weird roles that I've held in my life, to help hopefully guide some people back to being able to just tap into their own knowing that, oh, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I can handle this too. Like, I'm resilient. I got this. And be able to balance both things, like the suck and the beauty.
Yes.
Yes. We gotta embrace the suck, but we also have to embrace the beauty. And so anyway.
Yes. And that's why it's I was reading your website, I was looking around, I said, look, she's like me and I'm from the IT world also, 2 decades and everything. And like when you're explaining now, it's similar, no? I support and guide my team for them to grow, no, in IT, but through who they are, with their essence, no, for them to feel their essence, know who they are, so that they can grow in IT.
I love that. Do you find that it's like you listen to these people talk that you're helping to guide, and you're just like, oh, I know exactly what you're going through?
Yes.
I know that feeling.
I've been there. Yes.
You're right. It sucks. It's okay.
Yes, I understand that.
So you were in IT for 20 years. Wow.
I'm still, yes. I started 96. Right? Yeah, it's 96. So yes.
That's a long time.
More time than 20 years. But yes, in 96. And I'm still in there. I'm still now managing a team, and for them to grow. That's what I love, no? And with the clients and so, but yes, IT, no more. But every time I hear you have to be a project manager somewhere, I said, no, that I did so many years. No, I'm not. No, I did it. And not 1 year. I did it many years, 20 something. I'm done.
Yep, exactly, exactly.
But yes, it's this supporting and guiding others through your own experience. No, that can be in IT, in real estate, in any place, because at the end, it's us growing into who we are wherever we are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it translates into so many different parts of life, right? Like just being able to realize that what you're going through is not that uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time, we're not that unique in what we're experiencing. Someone else has experienced it and they lived through it to tell about it. So it's going to be okay.
Here we go. You will grow. No?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But then in your guidance, there's the uniqueness of the person that you see, no? That you support them and you let them also see it. You guide them to see that uniqueness.
Yes, 100%. It's really fun when you're working one-on-one with someone specifically, and you get to kind of see that aha moment that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, I get it. And you're like, yeah, you're a rock star. You're a badass. And they're like,
Yes.
I am a badass.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that's really
beautiful.
fun. Or they
Yes.
come back and say, I tried this and it worked, and oh my gosh, why didn't I do this before? And I'm like, you're gonna do it now. Yeah, that's really fun. It's really, really fun. I never really expected to, correction. When I, a couple years ago, when I decided to sort of take this other path, for however long the path provides itself to keep walking on,
Yeah.
um, I didn't really picture myself working one-on-one with people. And it sort of landed in my lap at one point about, I don't know, 6, 9 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that it did. I mean, there's definitely a lot of joy that comes from working with groups or being in a room full of people and getting to connect with at least a few of them. But there's something really, really special that comes when you have that one-on-one time. And I'd forgotten what that was like. Um, and I didn't realize how much I missed it, when I was in property management and I was leading teams, it was very different. And I just didn't realize how much I missed it until it came back into my life. So
Mm.
I feel really, really lucky to have those moments again.
Yes, they're nurturing. I know
Yeah.
that when you work with a group, it's you're giving of yourself, you make them, you see a vision, you want to go, make them go there and everything. But when you're one to one, you feel the person, what I say in my case, I see the power of being, no, the freedom to be who they are and create what they love. So their uniqueness that
Mhm.
sparkles, no, and that yeah, I'm able to guide them wherever they are in the company to
Yeah.
really show this, to really take advantage of this uniqueness. No, so it's a nurturing, it's a
Mhm.
guidance of giving, and then a nurturing of receiving.
Yes. Yeah. That's it exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
beautifully said.
That's what we what well, because you feel it also, it's this feeling, no? You know what it is when you give and then you receive, no?
Mm. Yeah. 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 And I mean, it's very similar to friendships, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm. Everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everywhere. Relationships at the end, no?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
when you're in relationship, you can be in relation with anything and with everyone, no, anyone. I mean, so it's always a relationship of giving and receiving, no? And
Hmm.
harmonious.
Yeah, and whatever you put out there is sort of like what comes back to you, right? And it doesn't always look exactly the same, but there's certainly
Mm,
this level of energy to it.
yes.
And that's what you're able to experience back. And I think I just ripped my, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm plugged in. So
Ah, nice, nice. I have a microphone, and I wasn't able to move it closer because I was in a meeting. I wasn't able, and I wanted just 1 minute to have time to settle in into the heart with you. So I said, okay, I use this one.
well, I'm appreciative. So these actually, I feel like the sound, well, first of all, I'm a little hard of hearing. So this helps. I can actually hear you very clearly. And
Mm,
then there's something with, I have a mic and every other time I plug it in, doesn't
doesn't
seem to
work.
want to work. No.
Mm,
So
mm,
I'm not sure I trust it anymore.
no. I don't know. It
Oh,
looks nice on you.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
I stole them from my husband.
They're a nice color. They're not black. They're
They're
white.
not black, exactly.
It's very nice.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I can't help but notice the ring. This is so
This one.
pretty on you. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. This is I bought. My mom bought it to me in Colombia. Was it in Bogota, I think. Yeah. And many years ago, we went for a family trip, and yeah, it's basic, but it's really I love that.
It's impactful. It's really pretty.
It's just a plate, it's a gold plate.
Yeah.
Move.
You have to have really long, slender fingers to pull that off.
Yeah, because it's white, no? It's
Yeah, it's really pretty.
thank you. Thanks so much. And now that we are with rings, I have this one. You see it?
Oh, that's pretty. I didn't see that. How
This one I
unique.
always wear here. This one my father gave to my mom. He bought it in Mexico many, many, many years ago. My father died when in 1987,
Oh,
and this was
wow.
a gift I don't know much before. So I always, yeah, I remember I saw it many years ago. I said, "Hi, mommy, how nice!" And she said, "Take it for you." And I love that because it showed for me this is integrity. My father was very ethical, very
Mhm.
integrity, and well, it's a ring that for me shows this reminds me, of the sovereignty and integrity.
I love that. That's really beautiful.
I
I wish
always
I had mine on. We kind of share that. I have a couple rings that one my grandmother gave me when I graduated high school. She took
mm-hmm.
her her wedding ring from her first marriage, had it melted down and created a ring for me. And
Nice.
then my dad gave me one for my 30th birthday. With that was his wedding band when he was married to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
They're not married anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. And then I have another one, like these rings that have this
Yes.
special meaning. My
Yes.
husband gave me one on our 10th wedding anniversary that just meant the world to me. And so, yeah, I wish I was like, I should have worn
Oh,
rings.
next time. Next time.
Next time I will wear my rings and we could share
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Next time. There's always a next time. You know that when we are like this sitting in front, no matter where you are and I am, we are in the same space, and
Yeah.
the connection of the hearts. So it doesn't matter. And when you know from the moment you came in, no, into this call, into this room,
Hmm.
sitting with me, you already know when you have affinity, when you are close to someone, when there is connection at the end.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, natural connection.
Hmm. Yeah. And your mom, she's still with us?
Yes, yes, my mom. Yeah,
Wonderful.
she lives close to me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, we
Today
are.
is
Mhm.
my mom's birthday, so I
Mm.
talked to her this morning, but we are
Mm.
not close by. We're not close to each other. So a little envious of that right now.
Yes. My mom, well, we've been all over the place always, and now since 4 years or so, she's here because we've been traveling around. My mom and the children, we are three siblings around somewhere else. So now she's close to someone, and in Europe, so it's closer
Yeah,
now.
that's nice.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I saw also you're a public speaker, no? Or you do speaking? Yes, you do speaking, no? You say that like that.
Yes.
Huh? You do
Yes.
speaking, and you have a topic also that relates to a book of yours.
Yes. Yes. What I typically talk about is just about life balance,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of where you come from or what you do or how old you are. And when I'm speaking, I kind of give some more energetic, we call it woo-woo,
Mm-hmm.
uh, type guidance, and then practical guidance, like just getting your tech under control and, stuff like that. But in the book, it's sort of a combination of my life. It's a self-help book, but it's also a memoir. And so
Mm-hmm.
talking about that, it's relating of all these different roles that each of us hold and that I've held in my life, and the challenges that can come up, and just trying to help people, one, feel less alone,
Yeah.
and two, realize that, just how brave they can be, how resilient they are, and helping guide them into finding that balance, no matter what it is that they're facing. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it's been a really fun project. I'm
Mm-hmm.
publishing in the next, my gosh, in less than 2 weeks, which is
Oh,
crazy. Oh
wow,
my God.
nice.
Oh, so yeah, that's been new and different. Something I've never done before, and I have learned more about publishing than I ever expected to. Oh, so that's been a fun journey to be on
Journey,
these last two
adventure.
years. An adventure, exactly. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to share the book. I'm excited for it to
Mm-hmm.
come out, and nervous and um, you know, terrified, and all of the
Mm-hmm.
emotions are all sort of bubbling up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll be good. Fingers crossed.
No, it will be for good. For sure, it will be good and expansive. It will be expansive.
I
It's
hope
all,
so.
you already expanded, creating the book and publishing it, and now it's expansion of your energy.
Yes,
It's so
yes,
important.
exactly. Just putting your energy out there.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. I understand. Well, they got published also about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, two books of mine. And for me, the most important thing I felt they had to go out. I don't do, but I haven't promoted them or nothing. But for me, has been they're out, you know,
yes,
they're out.
yes. At some point, you're like, I'm just going to put it out, and
Yeah,
it's going to be what it's going to be.
and it will be.
Congratulations, by the
Thank
way.
you, thank you.
Such a huge accomplishment.
No,
And
no,
I know it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So
no, no, no.
congrats.
Congrats to you,
Thank
because I'm sure it will be very good. So no nervousness, nothing. It's just your presence going everywhere and being out there. That it's always so good for us, for everyone in this world.
I appreciate that. I'm excited. Um, and I'm doing a live broadcast book launch event.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually invited 8 women to speak.
Uh-huh.
Gail Harris is one
Yes,
of
yes,
them.
yes. Beautiful.
So each woman is all these women that I admire, that I've, connected with over the years. coming up and talking about their own like one specific area of their life where I personally know they've struggled or they have guidance, and they're probably still figuring some stuff out and sharing that detail as well. So I'm really excited to listen
Wow.
to them talk
Yes.
and share these real life stories in this public forum. I think it's going to be really,
Wow.
really fun and different. And so I'm pretty pumped about that specifically,
Yeah, you
just
must
to
be.
give a platform for these other women to talk.
That's why you're organizing it. But it's
Yes,
not online. It's really in presence.
it'll be online. So it'll be
Uh-huh.
on LinkedIn, Facebook, and if I can figure out the technology behind it, Instagram. Uh, it's supposed to be easy, but that like Facebook was easy, LinkedIn was easy. I am just struggling a little bit with Instagram, but it should be on all three on September 26th, and it's a free live
Mm.
event. So
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
pumped. I'm pumped.
Yes.
That's
It
some
will
really
be. It will be amazing because when you put people together, and for me, for instance, Gael is another true leader, no, another someone that really speaks from the heart, no, and is the heart, her heart, and it's unique, and it's co-creation, it's everything, no, love, uniqueness, and co-creation. And when you have people like her talking and expressing through the heart, no, with honesty, humbleness, with open heart. I don't like to use vulnerability. It's the open heart. Then you cannot. You will always learn something from her, from them, and you will always grow through that,
yeah.
through the listening, through the energy. There's so many aspects of us when we are open-hearted, no, that when we share from there, it's sticky. Beautifully
Yes.
sticky.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I think that vulnerability that I know it's like it's hard to get to that place because it's scary, and getting over the hump of the fear to be that vulnerable,
Mhm,
it puts you in a different place, in that
mhm.
open heart place. And
Yes.
I would expect and I hope that the folks that are listening will show up with that same respect for the
Mm.
level of vulnerability it takes, and to show up with an open heart to listen and an open mind to listen. So um, I definitely expect to grow exponentially through this event, and I hope that it offers that space for others too. So, but we've got women from all walks of life talking, so on all different topics. It should be
Wow.
really, really fun. So
This is.
I could not be more excited about this event. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
I love that. I love that. I think when this conversation is published, it will be afterwards. But
Gotcha.
I guess you record it or no?
I'm supposed to be able to record it. I have a new
I'm taking.
platform, like everything else in my life right now that's so new that I'm just learning and figuring out along the way. I've messed up so many things, by the way. So just whoever's listening, just mess it up and know that you can unbreak it. You can fix
Yes,
it,
yes,
and you've
always.
still created something.
Yeah.
But this new platform that I've signed up
Mhm.
for that broadcasts out to all of these different places
Mhm. Mhm.
has a recording feature. And so
Mhm.
fingers crossed I
It
do
will.
that
It
right.
will.
And I'll be able to share it after the fact. So I think, yeah, I've got my fingers crossed. I'm not making promises, but I'm going to do my best.
No, but yeah, I think they do it automatically. No, when you share it live, they record. I
It's
think.
supposed
I
to,
think so.
yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think so. But
exactly.
anyhow, since it's September 26th that it will happen, no? So before that, you send me the links if you want, and I would talk about our co-creation in LinkedIn, and I would love to share that.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it will be it will be beautiful, and it will be so positive for anyone listening. I'm sure about that.
I think so. Yeah. I know these women very
Mm-hmm.
well, and I know what they bring to the table every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to focus their energy and their ideas and their struggles and their triumphs and their learning curves
Yeah.
all in one, I think is going to be pretty impactful. So thank you for that. I will absolutely share it.
No. Thank you.
I will.
No, thank
So
you.
couldn't
Mhm.
think of a better way to launch this book. Just having a bunch of other people's voices talking about it, because it's imperfect. Everything is imperfect. And that's been a
Yes.
big lifelong lesson for me, because I definitely fell into that realm of people pleasing and
Mm-hmm.
perfection, which
Mm-hmm.
weirdly
Yes.
enough, nothing was ever perfect. I just
No.
felt like this need for it to try to be, and that
Yes.
always held me up. And so that's sort of going through this process has been humbling.
Yes. Yes. I get you also there because I'm a systems engineer. And I started so structure. I
Mhm.
grew up and I did German school.
Okay.
You know, I'm Swiss German one side. So it's very much structure and the having to, the living for the others and not for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in 2012 I started a social enterprise, and I lost all my savings and everything because of the having to. Because you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to invest here, you have to that, until after many years, because now we're in 2024. Well, some years I've learned after going against the wall to really listen inside. No, we have the guru within, so it's really listening inside and knowing when things are to be shared, and it doesn't matter how open-hearted. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because we are, as I say, perfectly imperfect, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
think the more that we do that, the more we, I don't know a better way to put this, but give permission to others to show up
Yes.
in that way, and to be like, oh, well, that's a mess, so I can do a mess. Cool. I'm just going to do it, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And that's enough,
Yes.
and it's going
Yes.
to be beautiful. And, in a world where everything does feel so curated, and it does feel like, either AI created or it's been designed to a T,
Mm-hmm.
there's something really uniquely beautiful about something
Mm-hmm.
that is messy.
Yes.
And so I'm just kind of leaning into that right
Yes.
now.
No, but it's true because I love it. It's the uniqueness, no? It's not the messy, it's the uniqueness. So if we know that, no? If you show up open-hearted and just express how you're feeling, sad, nervous, and to your audience, no, to the one-to-one, no? People open their hearts because
Mhm.
there are many, not everyone, but the majority are empathic. No, so
Yeah.
we relate with others, and we know how it feels to be like that. So you really, when you are who you are openly,
Mhm.
without fear, because you've learned that open-hearted, everything is right and everything is there's no right and there's no wrong. Everything is perfect, no,
Mm.
imperfectly, perfectly imperfect, and that's the beauty. When you are like that, number one, you don't worry about what the others say.
Yes.
Plus, because you're just giving yourself. No, you are giving because you are nurturing. So it's
Mhm.
really you are. It's not that you are robbing of who you are to give. No, no, you are whole, and this whole you are giving.
Mhm.
So this energy
Yeah.
is always beautiful, no? And whoever takes it in opens their heart because they are feeling this uniqueness and this wholeness and this example of being true to yourself.
Yes, exactly. And that's it right there, right? Is being true to yourself and knowing that however you show up is okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually more than okay. It's more than
Yes,
enough.
it's
And that by doing so, you're helping others to do that too.
yes, and your impact because
Hmm.
people might be expecting something different, what they're used to. And when you are showing yourself as who you are, unique, there's no one like you. So that's an impact because the expectations,
Yes.
everything moves, and that's you impact, you seal
Hmm.
your energy in others, and you show um, well the power, the potential, the power in everyone
Yeah.
to do the
And I think
same.
it's important to remember too that like when you're living in this space, that's not to mean that you won't have those mornings or afternoons or
Mm,
evenings or days
yeah.
where you start to self criticize or
Mm-hmm.
doubt what you're doing. And I absolutely
Yes.
have those moments
Yes.
more often than I would like. And in those moments, you just remember, like, or write down, like, that's usually what works for me is writing down, like, nope, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I'm just going to get that out of my head. Now I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to look at it and I'm going to write down the opposite, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to remind myself that, okay, what I'm doing is enough. I am
Yes.
enough. This is
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
What's happening right now is right where I'm supposed to be. And whatever comes next comes next. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
control that. I don't have to try to make it look like one particular thing, which I definitely have had a bad habit of. Um, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust that whatever direction I'm going will present itself. That's not to say that we shouldn't put effort into what we're
No,
doing.
no, yeah, always effort and willingness and responsibility
Yes,
for us, for who you're, not for no, no. In everything
yes,
we do, we put love into it. So it's effort, responsibility, willingness.
exactly, exactly. But following your heart and doing so in a way that is productive, but also real and patient.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
maybe one of the more tough things
Yeah.
is to be patient.
Yes. To know that things come when they have to come, don't push them. Yeah. To make them
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a tough one for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this has been an interesting journey and I I am I'm grateful for all of it.
Yeah.
All of the weird moments, the tough moments, the triumphs, the everything. I'm grateful for all of it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And it's beautiful because you had the intention, you have responded to it, no? And you have acted.
yeah.
And
Much like you, like doing this podcast and doing all the things that you're doing while also working and leading others in IT, that's pretty impressive.
I'm just a mirror. True, no? True.
Yes. Cheers.
Yes.
Oh
It's
my
it's like
goodness.
that. Man, love you, Brandi. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you. I'm really, really thrilled to be here with you and to get to meet you face to face. This is so fun. You have such a beautiful energy and a
No.
beautiful smile. This has just been really fun. I'm
I
thankful.
appreciate you. I appreciate you that. I'm
I
really
need to shoot
beautiful.
Gail a message and just
Mm.
tell her thank you again.
Oh yes, I love her too. No, it's so I love the podcast. This one is so beautiful because I, I, I meet Gail. I do several co-creations with her. Gail talks about it to you. I meet you.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And it's so nurturing. It's so I know I use a lot the word nurturing, but it's really nurturing. It grows me, it expands me, it And I hope that also the ones listening, but the idea is really for everyone to know they can be their own guru, for everyone to know they can be perfectly imperfect, because that's who we are. For them to know that they are in freedom to be who they are and to create what they love, because every time we create what we love, we grow and we know more about who we are.
Yes.
To know that the world, the new world, is about being in wholeness, being who you are, and co-creating with others, just by what you love to do, and by being in the now, enjoying at this time, enjoying no expectations. You had that also on the website, I think, no? And no expectations.
Yeah.
That it's so important not to have expectations, because for me, expectation is limiting yourself through your mind.
Yes.
So if you take them out, you welcome, and you are grateful for anything that comes, and will be always greater than what you thought.
100% agree with that. Anytime I've placed expectations on something or someone, I'm always met with disappointment.
Yes.
Because I have this idea of what it has to look like.
Yes.
Or I have this idea of how I think someone should show up. And it's limiting not just to me, but to them. It then creates a space where they can't be authentic, they can't be themselves, or
Yes.
the vacation or the project or the job or whatever it is in front of you then can't turn out the way that it's supposed to. It doesn't, you don't allow yourself to learn what it is that you were supposed to learn by
Yes.
this thing being or this person being presented to you, right?
Yes.
And so when you discard those expectations and you remove them, or let's say you pick them up and set them off to the side.
Yeah,
You
because
notice
you will have them and you
you
push
gotta
them
have
back.
them. Exactly. So if you just notice that you're doing it and go, okay, I'm going to take that and put it in a jar. I'm going to put the top on that jar. I'm going to push that over on this shelf for just a minute and see, and just to be open to whatever it is that is supposed to come, let it come. Then the beauty that happens is just exponential. And
Yes.
and it's really interesting that when you're that open, how you can observe what it is that you're there to learn. And you may not have even known that until you're in it. And sometimes you don't even notice it until after it's way done.
Yes.
I personally have found that, like you mentioned this, when you're creating, you're learning more about yourself. And so for me, that is writing, right? Like that's how I understand what it is that I'm going through, or what it is that I'm supposed to learn about myself or a situation and where I'm supposed to grow. But a lot of people, that's through art or music or cross stitch. I mean, whatever it is for you that you're creating, do that, get your mind out of the mix and let your heart do the work. And then you will learn and grow so much faster than you would if you placed those expectations and said, no, this is what I'm supposed to learn and this is what it's supposed to look like. And you just get that out of the way. And life becomes this really beautiful mess, and it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And it's a surprise, a beautiful surprise. You say, wow, how did I get here? What I learned, how I grew. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but I love unwrapping presents.
So
So
me too. I think everyone
make a big mess out of that wrapping paper.
And it's like that, no? It's
It
really,
is.
you put the expectation aside, you arrive here, like these conversations, co-creation. I don't know what will be talking with you. I just, and what I will be co-creating with you, because it's a relationship, it's a dancing, it's a dance of giving and receiving. And we going to be dancing with the music that we are co-creating at that moment.
Yeah. We're like jazz musicians.
Yes,
I'm just kidding. I can't. No. I do love it though. I was very excited about that aspect of this conversation, was that I knew there wouldn't be specific questions, which quite honestly, sometimes I am a deer in headlights when I get those. Oh, that's probably an expression you're not used to. So deer in headlights.
The deer in the headlight. No,
Yes,
deer.
yes. And you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that one. And so sometimes I have that moment where I'm just like, let me think about that for a second. How do I
Yeah,
answer this
yeah.
question? So I was excited to have just this open, organic conversation with you and just to see where it went. It's very new and very different, and it has been very fun.
The same. Really, thank you so much. Beautiful. I love you. Thanks so much, Brandi.
I love you.
And
Thank you.
we will continue co-creating. I love that.
I agree. Absolutely.
There's so much. There's so much beauty
Now
here.
we're connected. There's no way we're letting go.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Oh, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, it was so wonderful to spend time with you.
Thank you. The same. Thanks so much.